Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here. It's Monday the 19th, and on a Money Monday, as always, Doug Upstone, Chirimbes joining me here. A little NBA preview, playoff conference finals. A little in and out of these two series coming up shortly. But before we get to that, here you go. Give it that thumbs up. You've tuned in. You're going to check it out. Thumb it up. Let's do it. Subscribe, notification bells on so you know each and every day we roll out free pick videos, whether it's MLB, an NBA preview, an NBA free pick, hockey, NFL football in a month, maybe 2 months. Whatever the case may be, we got you covered here at the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Plenty of free pick action. Now, these are free picks. These are previews, our best bets, our top plays, all of our winners. GamblersWorld.net for our best work, folks. We can get at the free plays. We do our best to win them all. But the ones we really clamp down on at GamblersWorld.net, the three of us all right there, including 10 other handicappers for you. I said it before, 3 730 packages guaranteed. A 30-day package is the best bet. You get a month. If it doesn't win, we credit you back. All sports are included. It's not just we're going to pick one like, I like the NBA, I'm going to do the playoffs, and then you're getting 3 games because there's not a lot of playoff action, right? They play every other day the series goes. You know, get the 30-day pass, especially with baseball and both playoffs underway. That is your best bet. Now, you don't want that? That's fine. Daily passes, $69.99. When there's NBA, hockey, and MLB. Sometimes the capper has all 3 up, but they're 3 separate things because people just like NBA and just like this and that. Well, a daily pass is the best bet at $69.99. Go get it. Now, enough of the small talk. Let's get down to brass tacks here. We got NBA playoff stuff going on here. And the first one's tomorrow. We're going to start in Western Conference here, Chip. Minnesota, Oklahoma City. Series-wise, we're looking at the Thunder at 330, so it's basically a 3-1 favor. The Wolves take back 265. The game one number is a 7.5, a total of 215. What did you think about what you saw out of Thunder versus the Nuggets as opposed to what you saw out of Minnesota in their series? Is it the old rest versus rust we like to talk about? Because you're going to have that in kind of sort of both of these series coming up. But your Western Conference Finals thought process. What do you got going on here? And, of course, how was the weekend for you?
All right, if you're starting with me, the WNBA was great. We started with that. The NBA, we closed with a winner yesterday after an abomination of having Boston in Game 6 against the Knicks. What a mistake that was, huh? And we had a great winner in baseball yesterday with Seattle. So we're moving right along. The NBA has picked up the pace, and now we have the WNBA out there. As far as this Minnesota and Oklahoma City matchup. I mean, Oklahoma City's the only number 1 seed. I think the next highest seeds are 4. Is that right? I mean,
3
that are left. The number 1s and number 2s and number 3s are all gone. And
Knicks are a 3 seed.
Knicks are 3, right? Okay. Trying to give them credit for anything is really difficult for me because it's been so long since they've been there. 30 years since they've been, or 25 years since they've been in the finals. But Minnesota, this is the second year in a row they're in the finals. And that's got to give you some kind of credence or confidence, whereas Oklahoma City was eliminated, even though they had the best record 2 years in a row in the West. They were eliminated in the first round last year, I believe it was. And Minnesota, they've really come along. I mean, I'm surprised that they've gotten this far. I really am. When they got rid of Towns and they came up with a guard-oriented offense, they got some good shooters without question, but I really didn't think they were going to be able to get to where they are now. But they played great basketball, and it's going to be interesting here. I do think Oklahoma City still has the edge. They're number 1 in defense, field goal percentage defense, allowing the least amount, 43% on the year, and as opposed to Indiana, which is allowing like 48%. So it's going to be interesting. It really is, and I think the maturity of Oklahoma City, the Thunder, is going to come into question here. Are they ready for this? They've been winning, and yet at times it's surprising some of the way Denver handled them a couple of times. I really was surprised at that, but. Minnesota's they got those outside shooters, and they got Anthony Edwards, of course, if he decides to play defense and not have a little immaturity issues there. Minnesota might have a chance at this. Do you know what the overall series odds are on this one? I was just wondering.
Yeah, so series is that OKC is minus 330 and Minnesota's plus 265. And you brought up a great thing. Like last year, I thought I liked Minnesota last year to get to the finals.
Right.
Maybe you're off. And I think people forget that, yes, they were in the conference finals last year. Yeah. And Luka and Kyrie got them, a little more experienced group again, right? You had a younger – and these guys are like the younger guys. And Luka and Kyrie been in a little bit more experience, and Luka's, especially with his European stuff. This is an experienced squad, Doug. I mean, I think people kind of overlook them for the fact that they were there last year. Yes, you made trades at the beginning of the year. Yes, you started slowly, but this is a team that pretty much dominated a Laker bunch. Mm-hmm. They're a good, solid team. They're talking about rounding into form. And as Chip brought up, we saw the Thunder kind of get buckled down or sloppy, whatever the case may be. The half-court offense wasn't there. They weren't making shots. Talk about depleted teams. I mean, Denver was really at the tail end of anything they had left, and by the end of the fourth quarter, it was just a runaway. But impressive. I'm not going to use that as a word for the Thunder. I think the Thunder, for the landscape of the season, the best team, right? We could pretty much say that. Should they get to the finals? Yes. I don't think it's a cakewalk for them. I think the 265 series price is definitely worth a look based on the Timberwolves' experience, the way they played in the playoffs, and how the Thunder have looked.
Yeah, well, the regular season series, 2-2, each team won on the other's home court, and Minnesota was 3-1 ATS. Okay, for the season. And looking at it, the thing with Minnesota, here's if you want to place a bet, here's a bet, maybe a better bet to place. If Minnesota can win game one, okay, if they can, at Oklahoma City tomorrow night. And by the way, Minnesota catches a break that they have that game go first, okay, of the two series, because Oklahoma City only has 1 day off. So that's to their advantage, a little fresher. The last 4 series, which covers 2 years, if Minnesota grabs a series lead, they're 4-0. So if they can come in there and pull the upset, that really, I think, turns the tables in their favor. Among the things, one thing that I was really impressed with is, Julius Randle caught a bunch of crap in New York, and for the most part, deservedly so. But what it's proven to me, how he's played in these playoffs, is that he's better as the second fiddle, not the main guy. Okay, so not all the pressure is on him to succeed. And so with that, I think he's better suited for where he's at. And in terms of looking at Oklahoma City, I don't know what you guys think. If Alex Caruso if that trade was not made to get him, I'm not sure it's not Denver against Minnesota, okay, for the finals. I mean, every game he came into, he changed what was going on in the game. Okay, even yesterday. They were down, 6-8 points right off, or actually it was 10, I think 10 points right off the bat. Yeah. He came in the game turned. Okay. I mean, he is such a force in so many ways. And I think he's a big part of what they're going to do. Another thing I think to look at in this series is you're going to hear a lot about the 3-point shooting, but here's the thing. So far of the teams that have played in the playoffs and looking at all the ones that advanced in the last round, these are the number 1 and 2 defensive teams in terms of points allowed in the paint. So both of these teams have the ability to stop the other points in the paint. So I think the big thing is going to be who can shoot and make the highest percentage and shots of 2-point shots. And I know in the NBA that's frowned upon, but if you watch the playoffs year after year, is that when you get to this time of year, you have to have the whole package. You got to make your shots up close. You got to make your threes, and you have to take advantage of twos because they're going to be guarding the rim and they're going to be trying to guard the 3-point line. So those that can make those, I think, have the best shot. And so, yeah, but I still like Oklahoma City to come out probably in 6 games would be my guess on that one. And so, yeah, it should be a really good, fun series, and it's the future of the NBA, guys. I mean, here's 2 teams. Okay, here we go.
OKC, 6 games, exact outcome. Let's see what we got here. You know what? What a crazy DraftKings. I mean, why can't they just do it nice and easy? Why can't it just be? You got to start digging through. It's like game 1 this way, game 2. They just have them the 6. They can't just have the 6th game. They just can't put it up there. Easy for me to find. Anyway, so Doug is liking OKC in 6. Where I'm thinking I'm going to take a flyer. Again, I didn't bet it. I would take a flyer on Minnesota. I'm a little biased. I liked them last year. I will, though, take them in game 1 here. This will be like a double because if I don't cover a 7.5 in game 1, I'm going to be coming back in game 2 with them because for either team, and we'll get to Doug to lead off the next series, Pacers Knicks. If you're going to be in the series, you got to steal one at home or on the road, I should say. So even if you're not stealing it, I think you're going to be close to it. You got to be inside the number. You can't come in here and get blown out in 2 games and think, well, we're going to go home and have 2 blowouts and then maybe steal one later on. I don't see that happening. For me, the NBA playoffs like this, it's a 6+ series. I got to take a road dog in the first 2 games here, whatever, how they come out, no matter what the teams are, because you need one. You need one on the road to win the thing. It's tough winning, at home and then trying to steal one if you're going to get blown out. So I like the points here in game 1. Again, little preview kind of stuff here on these games, folks. The best bets when people, Doug, Chip, myself, Matt, Brian, whoever is going to have a premium pick on this, head to gamblersworld.net. Mm-hmm. Could be up today. They could be up today. Could be up tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow for the Wednesday game between the Knicks and Pacers. That is where you're going to find our best bet as opposed to we're talking about now. Things change. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody's puking and they're not in the lineup. Things change. You never know what's going to happen. But get our best bets at gamblersworld.net. Now, our game 2 or our the next day game, because every day we'll have a game, 1-1. The Knicks and the Pacers. Knicks open up as a 4-point favorite, total 223.5 here. Favorite for the series, 145. Pacers to take back 125. We saw this last year. Pacers got past the Knicks here, Doug, and Brunson was a little banged up in that one. But I think the Pacers weren't even 100%. It was a lot of how's Halliburton going to do, which you get a lot now. For me, I think the Pacers are the most, I don't know if disrespected or underrated, however word you want to use. It's a team that no one's really talking about. It's like, it's New York. They're the last big market team in, so you got that working for – if you're a Pacer fan, you got that working against you. The NBA could be a little, wow, what's going on with all these foul calls here? I don't understand what's happening. There's been known to be phantom fouls called on nonsense. I'm a Pacer guy, and not just because I can't stand Knicks fans because they're insane. They make homerism. They take it to a whole new level of ridiculousness. But I don't know if the depth is there for them. Again, we've talked about the Pacers before in the free picks here, Doug. Their coaches won a title. Mm-hmm. They've won. They were there. They pushed a healthy Boston team last year in the playoffs. What do you think here, Doug? And again, how was the weekend? What do you got on tap here at Gamblers World for today before you jump into your Pacers Knicks breakdown?
Well, I will let you know that I did have Oklahoma City on the first half yesterday. Got a little nervous there for the first quarter. Okay, I admit that. But then they took over in the second quarter, and obviously they won both ways very handily. I mentioned to you guys before, for those that were here on last Thursday, I had journalism to win, and my upset pick was Gosker. So I ended up having a exacta on that one, and I hit it. Okay, and so that was nice. So hit both the Derby and the Preakness. So looking forward to the Belmont, and then to put us. Let's see here what else. So 4 in a row in the NBA altogether. I think 42 and 33 in Major League Baseball is where I'm at. And of course, Sean, just to put a smile on your face, I have to bring up the UFL because my Birmingham team came through. plus 2. They lost 29-28, but I got a winner on that one. So we're set to go there heading into week 9, which everybody's looking forward to. Okay. There. Anyway, so this
If
series.
you're making money, then go for it. It's just,
And the
real
CFL
fast,
is right around the corner, by the way.
I'll just say real fast. I did dabble, like our guy Chip. I dabbled into a WNBA total yesterday, and it hit. So again, if you're making money in something, we are all dogs, but we have to learn some new tricks sometimes if we want to eat.
That's exactly correct. And speaking of wanting to eat, these two teams, it's going to go 7 games. Okay, I'm firmly convinced these teams are very equal, and the fact that we have these two teams in the Eastern Finals is pretty remarkable. Kind of like Taco Bell selling chicken nuggets. Just doesn't seem to make sense. But here we are. Okay, with this, you mentioned Rick Carlisle. Okay, here's the thing that is, I mean, I give this guy all the credit in the world. Chip talked about, their defensive numbers on the season. For the regular season, they gave up 47.3%, okay, in terms of shooting percentage. That was 23rd in the NBA. In 10 postseason games, they've given up only once have they given up over 46%, and on average, they're at 44%. So their defense is markedly better. They're getting a lot more turnovers. And so, so they've really done a good job. The Knicks, we kind of know, Jalen Brunson's the main guy that stirs the whole thing for them. They're in the NBA final or the Eastern, or trying to get to the NBA finals for the first time in 26 years, I think it is. Obviously Brunson's a key, but I think the real keys are Karl Anthony Towns, Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. I think those guys are going to be huge, along with this, and this is such an underrated part of the team now compared to the regular season, Michael Robinson playing center. Okay. Such a big difference. I mean, the guy he's an offensive rebounding machine. He's a rim protector, gets off his feet really quick. I think that I like him a lot. And I think what he adds, I liked him last year before he got hurt. And I think he adds an awful lot to this. I think Indiana's key here is or I should say New York's key is to have Indiana take in the possession clock, make them play defense. Okay. I think that's New York's key. I do believe the visiting team will win 4 games. I'm going to go on record and saying it. The visiting team will win 4 games in this series. Okay. It's going to come down to game 7, and New York, by having the number 3 seed, comes away the winner in 7 games.
Knicks in 7 I think both of these series are like 6 or 7, could be at least 6. One will go 7. I won't be shocked. If they go 6, it'll be a close game. And again, I'm looking at the dog. I'm going to be getting a couple baskets with the Pacers here. I've already got them. I've said before, folks, my NBA playoffs have been ho-hum. I'm not going to put a package up and come and be like, hey, you buy a weekly pass, you're going to get the game in there as well. I've already got the Pacers at 4.5. I'm happy with it. If I steal game 1, am I going to come back game 2 and get greedy? I don't know. I'll take a win, and we'll see how game 3 goes, what the line's going to be. But I'm looking for a cover here in game 1. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Knicks. They love Brunson. He's excellent. He's what are you going to do? The guy looks fantastic. He looks like I know people love Curry and LeBron or KD or these guys, and is he on that level overall? I don't know about that. He does shine in the playoffs, though. Holy cow. The guy comes through. He is clutch. He is as good as they come. I'm going to give him – Knicks fans are going to be like, oh, no, you're saying this. Yeah, all right, I don't like the Knicks. I'm going to give the guy credit. He looks fabulous. And I'm wearing Chip in because he loves the Knicks as well, too. Right along with me trying to give praise. We're going to be gagging as we say nice things about him. Chip, what are your thoughts on this series?
All right. I want to get back to something Doug said, but my first thoughts are I think Josh Hart is going to be a key factor. He comes off the bench, and he really, if he's having a good day, the Knicks are really tough to beat. And, he plays hard at that, the whole Villanova attitude. That's why I was upset when they sent DiCrescenzo to Minnesota, because they had, but here's the thing I wanted to get to. they beat Boston because of their inside game. You said it, Doug. With Robinson and Towns, they really took advantage of the Celtics by the rim. The Celtics, of course, didn't hit their 3-point shots, so the Knicks are able to carry the series. But like I said, I like the Knicks' depth. The fact that they're at home. I'm just deathly afraid of this Indiana team. I keep having visions of Reggie Miller stepping out on the court and bad things happening to New York in Madison Square Garden. But yeah, it's going to be. I'm surprised. Like I said, the Knicks' depth and how they really adjusted defensively after playing just I'd say wide open offense for most of the year, and it comes to playoffs here, and they've really say honed up on the defensive end as far as it's concerned. I think this year, I think the first game's going to go under the total. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, and to your point, Chip, is that the thing I like about the Knicks, what they've done too, is that I mean, obviously there were large swaths of time where Boston just dominated them, but right. When they kind of got it going, they went on these runs, and that's what it kept it going. And the runs were obviously based in part on offense, making shots, but it was keep stopping Boston, right. Okay, which allowed them to get back in all these games, and the ones that they won that mattered. I mean, that was the deal. So. I mean, it's not news here, right? We're talking about defense at playoff time, But I mean,
I was surprised or impressed with the fact that last year, I think the biggest hole the Knicks had their guarding the rim, their center play, getting Towns help. But like you said, Robinson has really come along, and he really helps them. I mean, sometimes they seem they might even be better with him on the floor.
I saw you bring up Towns. I saw somewhere that. Versus the Pacers this year, he's averaging like 30 and 10 or something. He's really exploited the inside there in this series. So again, if he's gonna be like that, Pacers are gonna be in for a battle. And if they're gonna shoot like the Celtics shot, this would probably be a short one. This could easily be a 4-1.
Halliburton. I mean, my goodness.
Again, Halliburton's real good. I think people forget Siakam's not a terrible player.
Right.
I mean, it's a team's pretty solid all around. They got a bunch of good components. They got their role guys who come in and do what they got to do. I think they're a little more offensive than the Knicks are, where the Knicks have more defense. So I think it's going to be a good, one style versus another style of basketball. I think it's going to be a fun little series, though.
Well, I think the whole thing's good because for many people, and this will include more than a fair share of bettors, I mean, they are unfamiliar with Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Indiana. And granted, 2 of the 3 made it to the conference finals last year. I mean, but during the regular season, people just don't see these teams, and they're not on a lot also. And, I mean, these are really good teams. And, I mean, just the fact that Minnesota and Indiana are back where they were last year, I mean, that's something right there. OKC living up to, to get this far, living up to expectations. And New York made the trade. And you can say what you want. I mean, it would be ironic to have Minnesota and New York in the finals. Right. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
But right. I mean, but even the fact that New York's here and there's no longer any talk of Thibodeau being a dope, okay, as a coach, so good for them.
Yeah, again, like you said, I got to reiterate that fact. Minnie and the Pacers were both in the conference finals last year, folks. And people kind of left them for dead early, right? Trade for the Wolves. People were like, oh, that's a terrible trade. They're Rudy Gobert. They're so this, that, and that. Well, here they are, right back to where they were, thinking we're going to overcome and get back to the promised land. I think it's going to be a good series. I know it's not the sexy teams that the league wanted, right? I mean, I'm sure they're happy that OKC's there because they want to promote SGA and stuff like that. But, Ant-Man's a solid player. You got Siakam and Halliburton on the other side. It's not Joker. It's definitely not the Lakers show that they won but you're going to have good games. I don't think it's going to be OKC sweeping teams just because they had a bunch of wins in a regular season. I've said before, regular season is one thing. You got guys sit out, teams take days off. The Thunder, I think, played all gas all season. That's how you go 60 ATS wins in the NBA. You're like, screw it, we're playing hard every night, right. Which is great. You want to see that, but that's going to change a little bit in the playoff time. You saw that a couple clunkers versus Memphis. They didn't cover the numbers, and then a depleted Denver team almost got you because they got the best player in the league. I mean, so again, I think we have 2 good series in this match in both sides. And I'm not going to be disappointed whoever gets in. I know the league it's not the teams they want, small markets, but I don't know. It's going to be a good one. Now,
one thing I brought up the Taco Bell nuggets. I got one other nugget here for you is the Oklahoma City in the playoffs right now, plus 68 turnover margin, plus 68. That is remarkable.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that's phenomenal. And I think if they can keep that up, that could be their edge to make it to be crowned champions ultimately.
Before I do the little wrap up, we're going to kick it over to Chip here for this day in sports. You got anything for us, Chip?
We have
Chip's
May
chomping at the bit
19th.
over there.
We got May 19th. I have a couple of interesting things. In 1912, I missed that game. Ben Johnson was the commissioner of the American League at the time. And Ty Cobb had been suspended because he had run into the stands and beat up a patron who was watching the game. And he was suspended, and he threatened to dismiss the entire Detroit Tiger club from playing professional baseball if they didn't return to work because they were protesting the Ty Cobb suspension. In 1929 at Yankee Stadium, there was an outrageous cloudburst and thunder and lightning, and 2 people were trampled to death as they panicked and the crowd tried to get out of the onslaught of the rain. 1935, on this date, the NFL instituted or adopted the draft, the college draft for the first time. And in 1956, I remember this, guys, Dale Long hit his 8th consecutive homer, 8 straight days for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And in 1960, a guy by the name of Juan Marichal made his debut, pitched a one-hitter in Seal Stadium. They hadn't moved the Candlestick yet. In San Francisco, one-hitter. And Juan Marichal retired with the highest strikeout per walk ratio in baseball history. The fewest walks with the most strikeouts, I think it was close to 9.12 per walk, which is absolutely incredible. On this date, Stan Musial set the National League record for most hits, which of course had been passed by Pete Rose, and he passed Honus Wagner's record of 3,431. Secretariat, like I said, Doug, 154 this state in the Preakness, and what was it, 73?
Yep.
And on a sad note, 1994, Jennifer Capriati, 18 years old, tennis champion, was admitted to a rehab, which virtually ended her career, her tennis career. And that was kind of sad in those days when that happened.
Capriati, she was like 14 or 15 when she won.
Yep.
And she was like on crack or something. Terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
And if for anybody that's interested enough to what Chip just said about Juan Marichal, go to YouTube and just see if you can find any video, because his delivery was quite unique. And along with that is that in today's baseball, there's not one pitcher they would ever allow to throw the ball like that. I mean, they wouldn't even let him warm up. Okay.
No, he used to raise his foot up as high as his head, for crying out loud. You know that, and then, but he had a number of a variety of pitches that he threw from different angles, and some people have said to me, Doug, that the toughest guys to hit in baseball wasn't necessarily Nolan Ryan, which he was obviously, but Juan Marichal and Ferguson Jenkins, because they had such nasty stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Marichal was something else. He really was with that delivery. And he was Louis Tiant before Louis Tiant.
Yeah. Hey, he went after Johnny Roseboro with a bat one time in the game.
He did. Yes. He got suspended for that.
Dodgers-Giants rivalry isn't the same now, but I mean, he got crazy just when Roseboro threw a ball back to the pitcher. And he said it was too close to his head. So,
different.
I mean, just think, Jackie Robinson was traded to play with Monty Irvin and Willie Mays back in the 50s. And he retired as opposed to playing for the Giants from the Dodgers. Right. He retired.
Yep.
Yeah. And today, guys want to go join other teams.
Come on, they're making out in the locker room.
All right, here we go. On that note, let's get to a little recap on some games here for you. Starting tomorrow's game, OKC and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm going to tell you, I like the Timberwolves here. So grab Minnesota here in the points. Doug says OKC in 6 for a series bet. Your Wednesday game, Doug is saying the Knicks in 7 in the series. Chip says to go under 223.5 Indianapolis. I got Colts. We got football. I got the printout of week 1 NFL lines. Actually, I'm worried about the Colts in week 1. It's the Pacers Knicks under 223.5. And I've already got it. It's on the site as a premium. You're getting it for free. So you know what? At least the bare minimum you could do is give it a thumbs up here. Pacers for me and the 4.5. There you go. OKC in 6. Knicks in 7. Knicks game 1 under. I like both dogs in game 1s there for you as well. Now, for Chip, Doug, and myself on the way out, be sure to hit the notification bell here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Head on over to gamblersworld.net for all of our best bets here on Monday and each and every day, all of our top plays at gamblersworld.net. Gentlemen, nice chatting as always. I will see you later in the week. Thanks, everybody, for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.